Hi everybody, how are you? It's C from Living a Frugal Life. I hope you're well. Happy April. Woohoo! So today I'm coming to you to talk about everything budget. Budget. April is a fantastic month. There are so many things happening, from spring break to Easter, to date nights, to sinking funds that need to get filled. And the other thing that it offers is that it is a 3 paycheck month. So you can accomplish so many things this month with April. This three paycheck month happens twice a year if you get paid bi-weekly. And so for 2022, the 3 paycheck months will be April and September. So there's great advantages to be able to do your budget. So let's talk about how we budget and how we actually manage our income. So we are a 1-income family, and we also have some side hustles. We get paid 26 times per year, so that's bi-weekly, but we actually do our annual budget as if we only get 24 paychecks. And the reason we do that is because the extra 2 paychecks, one in the spring and one in the autumn fall, we use to fill our sinking funds. And this system has worked out for us and has given us peace of mind, because our sinking funds are then filled in advance. So this check that we are going to be receiving this month, so we'll have our first and our last paychecks will be our actual budget for the month of April. And then that middle paycheck in the middle, smack there in the middle, will be our sinking fund paycheck, where we will fill our sinking funds. So our sinking funds that we are filling will be the sinking funds that need to be funded from April 1st all the way to September 29th. So it's a nice little, chunk of change in there. And then the next time we see a third paycheck will be in September. And so that exactly the same, the first paycheck and the last paycheck will fund our month, and the middle paycheck will be the one that will fill our sinking funds, that will get us all the through from autumn, fall, all the way to spring. And though that one at that stage includes Christmas and HOA and what else? I'll go in and I'll show you. I'll screenshot everything so you can see, but it's in depth. So that's how we use the third paycheck in the month. And we also live on a daily living rate. What is the daily living rate? The daily living rate is a concept that I came up with in 2018 to make sure that we were utilizing the funds that we had, and we had very little funds. We were in over $100,000 worth of debt when we did our first budget to climb out of debt. We discovered after everything was paid that night, like our mortgage, we had already got our groceries, we put gas in the car, that we had $1.87 to our name, and we wouldn't get paid for 2 weeks. So that was our liquid cash, $1.87. It was terrifying times. And I always remember this statement that Bar said to me. He said, see, I work so hard. I have a good job. I make a good income. How can I not provide for us? And it wasn't that he wasn't providing for us, because he was doing everything in his power. Everything was paid. Remember, the mortgage was paid, food was in the fridge, our kids were safe, our health insurance had been paid for, our car insurance and all the other things had been paid for, but we still only had $1.87. So for the next, I think it was 3 days, I wrote a budget. I would get the paper like this, I would go and fling it. I was so frustrated because his words were ringing in my ear. what am I doing wrong? You know, why can I not provide for our family? And so over the next coming days, we were deep conversations. And one of them, you know, he said to me, I make good money per hour. And it was like a light bulb moment for me. I was like, oh my God, yeah, per hour, net per hour. So that is how I came up with the daily living rate. How much you physically need to earn per day to live. And so we started living on the daily living rate. We broke every single part of our budget down to how much it cost us per day. And what we discovered was that we had a gap from our net income coming in to our daily living rate, which was a tiny, like it was like this size. It was tiny, but there was still a gap. We were then able to make snowball payments off the $100,000 worth of debt. And we decided that we would make snowball payments daily. Yeah. Not wait till the end of the month and make, you know, the minimum payment and all that. We would make snowball payments daily. There was some months that Bar and I made 26, 27. There was one month we made 32 snowball payments against our debt. Now, let me tell you, some of them were $1, 55 cents, $5. It did not matter. What mattered most was we were paying off our debt every single day. And starting out on March 18, 2018, we had $100,000 worth of medical debt. That medical debt was for life-saving treatment for our son that was not covered by insurance because it was deemed experimental, right? We chose to slap down 5 credit cards, max them out in one day, right? Bump, gone. We took a HELOC on our home 24 hours later. We took out a personal loan and we drained our life savings. That is how we ended up with $100,000 worth of medical debt. That is how we ended up with only having liquid cash of $1.87 the day Bar got paid and we had our bills paid. I want you to jump to 27 months into the future from March 4th, 2018 to June 26, 2020. We're debt free, guys. We paid off $101,087, including interest, of medical debt because we lived on the daily living rate and there was a gap between our net income and our living expenses. There was that gap, the daily living rate. And that is how we did it. Today, here we are. It is April 1st, 2022. And we are still living on the daily living rate. We are actually thriving on the daily living rate. We are driving, guys. We still live a very frugal life. Our annual budget is really low for a family of 4. Our annual budget is $28,996.48. And our daily living rate is $79.40 for every day in 2022. So I will share that we share a ride. Okay, so Bar and I share a ride. The car, it's a minivan. It's paid off. We don't have a car payment. We're debt free. We don't have minimum payments up the yazoo. We did. Let me tell you, I forgot to mention that when we got all of our bills that March, our minimum payments on the 5 credit cards, the HELOC, and the personal loan was, are you ready? $1,997. It still gives me chills that was our minimum payment. Anyway, we did it. Today, I know I'm going to get questions in the comments, and I'd love to hear from you, but I will say that our son is still here. He was just in the hospital last week having life-saving treatment. He will go in again in 2 weeks to have it again. There is no cure for his diagnosis, but there now is a big, huge difference. There's quality of life, and quality of life is the greatest gift we have ever received. And we are blessed as a family to be a family of 4 continuously right now. And I would, Bar and I, if tomorrow we were in the same situation again, we would slap those credit cards down. We don't have any credit cards anymore, but we would get them. We would slap them down. All of our credit cards, we closed them. But I would do it in a heartbeat to save my son's life, and I know Bar would too. He would do it all, you know. And in the process of becoming debt free, we sold everything but our souls. I want you to know that. Everything. We sold things that were so hurtful to sell. We sold them because we needed to make sure that our son's health care was covered. And that was, you know, one of the most, when I look back at it, I cried so much when it happened, but now I look back at it, I'm like, it was a blessing. So we sold our beloved piano, and our kids were in piano lessons, and, you know, like any parent, you think your kids are proteges. And they're not. But when we sold the piano, and we sold it in like 3 hours, we put it up on social media, and we tagged all schools and teachers that we knew, and a teacher ended up buying it, a music teacher ended up buying it. So when I look back at that chunk of change that we got from selling the piano that we owned, and it was life-saving. Another thing that we sold that was huge, we sold, we went to Walmart and we bought a scales for measuring like flour or something, but it was just a little flat scales, and you would put a bowl on it if you were weighing anything. And anyway, we came home and we gathered up all of our jewelry, everything, and anything that had any sentimental value. Like, you might see me in videos wearing hoop earrings. I don't have them on today, but they were the very first present Bar ever gave me. We did not sell those. You know, we're 30 years married. I would not sell those. They're just too dear to me, right? I did not sell my wedding ring, but I barely wear it. But I didn't sell it because it's sentimental value to me. Bar did not sell 2 rings because they were gifted down to his family, or a watch that was gifted down. He didn't sell those. But I sold everything. I just put it there. So anyway, the reason we got the scales was because we wanted to make sure that we knew how much per ounce we had in gold, because we were documenting it for ourselves, so that when we go to the jeweler to sell it, that we wouldn't be hoodwinked or swindled or anything, that we would know, like, well, this amount of gold is worth this on the market currently. And so we went in so nervous. We'd never done anything like that in our lives, and we went in so nervous, and we walked out jubilations because they cut us a check, and we're like, woo! And it was like 8% more than what we thought we were getting, and it was so rewarding. 72 hours later, that check cleared, and that money went off, and we paid off the Discover card. And it was just like, yes! So anyway, living on the daily living rate has so many benefits. So this is our April budget. Our living expenses are going to cost $2,372.15. Bi-weekly, it's going to cost $1,183.57. Daily, it's going to cost $79.04. And per person, it's going to cost $19.74. Let's come down here. This is what else we have going on in our April budget. We have Easter, spring break, Bar and C date. We're doing 12 dates this year, and this is one of them. Camping, our boys are going Boy Scout camping, and hospital. We have 6 visits to the hospital this month, and we budgeted $50 from the March budget. We didn't spend it over, so we're only putting $25. So these all accumulate down to $330. Combined, that is a grand total of $2,702.15. That gives us a daily living rate of $79.04 because we're only working off the two paychecks, not the two. Our food budget for the month per day is $15. The line items 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 come to 330. Combined, our total is $22,702.15. This is how the first paycheck breaks down. So our living expenses, we have 11 items on this budget. So we have our mortgage, our power, gas to heat our home, water, internet, T-Mobile, groceries, petrol or gas, Easter, spring break, and camping. And bi-weekly, that's going to cost us $1,413.57. Daily, it's going to cost us $100.94. Or per person, it's going to cost us $25.19. Our living expenses for this month, for the first paycheck, is $1,413.57 at a daily living rate of $194. So there you have it. But this is the column where the daily living rate really rings true. So per day for the first 2 weeks of the month, it costs us $46.21 to live in our home. It costs us $5.78 for power. For gas to heat our home, it costs $2 per day. For water, it costs $2.85. Our internet is $2.67. T-Mobile is $3.57. Groceries is $16.04. Gas and petrol is $5.37. Easter is $3.57. Spring break is $10.71. Camping is $2.14. So it brings it all the way down to the $194. And then you can see per person over here what it breaks it down to. So it's quite interesting when you see the figures done like that for the daily living rate. So now you have our middle paycheck. This is going to be how we fill our sinking funds. So let's go ahead and dive into it. So our sinking funds for this is trash, birthday, vacation, home maintenance, car maintenance, personal funds, and scouting. And as you can see, this is what we need in total. So we need $3,650. We keep our sinking funds in our high yield savings account, in Ali, and currently the balance in Ali is for these buckets is $1,110.38. So in this column over here is what we physically need. So we need $300 for trash, we need $250 for birthdays, we need $1,500 for vacation. We need $73.18 for home maintenance. We need $25 to bump up the car maintenance fund. We need $300 for personal funds. And for scouting, we need $91.44 combined. That is a total of $2,539.62. So that brings it down here. To fill our sinking funds, we need an extra $2,539.62. The high yield savings account already has the $1,110.38, and so that will bring our total for the next 6 months to $3,650. And that is how we fill our sinking funds from the middle paycheck of the month that has 3 paychecks. Here you're reviewing the last paycheck of the month of April. This is how it breaks down. So we have 11 items here. We have mortgage, power, gas, water, internet, T-Mobile, groceries, gas, and Reptel. That's our phone line to call Ireland per month. It's $5 per month, 16 cents a day, or 4 cents per person. There is where we added the date for Bar and myself, as we added $75, and the hospital we added the $25. So this is how it breaks down. It's $1,288.57 bi-weekly. Per day, it's $91.81, and per person, it's $24.23. So here is the daily living rate and the expenses for the last paycheck of the month of April. So what you're looking at now is our actual annual budget for 2022. So let's have a little nose in the budget. So as you can see, we have it broken down into our living expenses and our sinking funds. So in our living expenses is mortgage, water, power, electricity, gas, internet, T-Mobile, Reptel, groceries, and gas and petrol. So our living expenses for the year are $28,996.48. Monthly, it works out to $2,416.37, and bi-weekly it comes out to $1,177.67, and daily it comes out to $79.40. So that gives us a handle on how much it's going to cost us per day to live, just to cover our living expenses. Now we jump down here into our sinking funds. So our sinking funds are HOA. HOA stands for Homeowners Association. So it's HOA, vacation, Christmas, birthday, scouts, home maintenance, car maintenance, car insurance, trash, and personal funds. So that gives us a grand total of $13,650.05. So see the way I have it here, filled here, filled here. So some of these were already filled. So you can see down that our sinking funds cost us $33.09 per day. Combine this daily living rate with this one here, and you come out with $116.83 per day we need to come in as income per day for 365 days to be able to accomplish our goal for annual budget to cover it of $42,646.35. And there you have it, the breakdown of how the daily living rate works. So if you have made it this far, I appreciate you very, very much. The daily living rate changed our life. It is the gateway to financial independence. Knowing your daily living rate when you're leaving the house in the morning and you're going to work and you make X amount of dollars, pounds or euros or whatever your currency is, and your daily living rate is down here, it gives you the confidence to know that you can actually afford your lifestyle. And if it's above that, your daily living rate is above your net income, you know that you have some work to do to be able to live below your means. And it is vitally important to live below your means because, you know, you're going to want to have an emergency fund. You're going to want to have, you've dreams and aspirations for the future. You might want to buy a house. If you keep living above your means, you're actually robbing yourself and your financial future. One day you might want to retire. If you are living on your daily living, if you're living your net income and you're living on your daily living rate, it's below that part in there, that gap, you can be investing. You can be paying off your mortgage. You can be paying off debt. You could save up and take 6 months off of work. I mean, whatever you want to do, it's financially affordable when you start living on the daily living rate. It opens up so many avenues and it makes you aware of your earning potential. It makes you realize how much you are worth. So when I say how much you are worth, I'm not talking about your net worth. I'm talking about your working worth. So you go to work, your income does not have to just include one job. If you are living above your means and you want to get down below your means and live a frugal lifestyle, and you live on the daily living rate, right? You could get a side hustle, you could get a part-time job, you could sell stuff which would bump up your income. So it's all doable. So I hope you find this video beneficial. I hope that you'll start implementing the daily living rate. I hope you are living below your means.